have quadratic equation using the quadratic formula. Now we were able to derive the quadratic formula using the general equation of quadratic equation, in which the x square, that's ax square plus bx plus c is equals to 0. Using this general equation, we were able to bring out or derive the quadratic formula, which give us x equals to minus b plus or minus root b square minus 4ac over 2a. So for us to get this quadratic equation, we were able to use the completing the square method. Now, and again, you should notice something. If the variable is not x, that variable is changed. Let's say for example, now you are giving something, the variables there is y. You are not using x again, it will be what? Y equals to minus b, and so on and so forth. If the variables there given is n, any letter, you are using the letter, but because of the general equation as variable x, that is why we say x is equals to minus b plus or minus root b square minus 4ac over 2a. Now this is the general equation, why this is the what? Quadratic formula of quadratic equation. If you have a question like this, x square minus 5x minus 6 equals to 0. Now how do we get the values of x using the quadratic formula? It is very simple. Now since we are able to know the formula as x equals to minus b plus or minus root b square minus 4ac over 2a, since we know the formula already, what you are now going to do is you are comparing using the general equation. The general equation is ax square plus bx plus c equals to 0, and the question given is x square minus 5x minus 6 equals to 0. Now this a is the coefficient of x square, this b is the coefficient of x, while c is constant, the number. That's what it means. Now what's the coefficient of x square here? It is 1. So a is equals to 1, you have b is equals to minus 5, and c is equals to minus 6. Then we go on with the what? Quadratic formula, which is what? X is equals to, now we have minus b here. If you check, your b here is minus 5, and we have minor here before, so it will now be minus into bracket minus 5 plus or minus, you have b square, so it will be minus 5 square, then minus into bracket, let me long this, you have 4ac, which is 4 times your a is 1, then times your c is minus 6, then all over your 2a, your a is 1, so 2 times 1. Now if you have something like this, then let's go on by simplifying. So x is equals to, bracket means times as usual, so minus times minus will give us plus, so you have plus 5 plus or minus the root, minus 5 square will give us 25, then minus 4 times 1 times minus 6, it will give us into bracket minus 24, then all over 2 times 1 will give us 2. Now since we have something like this already, so we now have x equals to plus 5, okay, sorry, you have x equals to plus 5, then plus or minus root 25. Now minus times minus will give us plus, then you have plus 24 all over 2, then x equals to plus 5 plus or minus root 25 plus 24 will give us 49, all over 2. So x equals to plus 5 plus or minus the square root of 49 will give us 7. Then we have 7 over 2. Now when you get here, this plus or minus means that we have either plus or minus. Now we have x equals to plus 5 plus 7 over 2, or x equals to plus 5 minus 7 over 2. 7 over 2. So x equals to plus 5 plus 7 give us 12. That's 12 over 2, or x equals to minus 2 over 2. 2 in 12 will give us 6. 2 in 2 will give us 1. So x is equals to 6, or x is equals to minus 1. So this is how to solve the quadratic equation using the quadratic formula or almighty formula. We're able to derive at x is equals to 6 or x is equals to minus 1. 3y squared minus 6y minus 8 equals to 0. We are going to use the quadratic formula to solve this. Now, since we know the formula as y equals to minus b plus or minus root b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Then we have the ax square. Okay, don't let me use ax square now. Let's use the ay square plus by plus c equals to 0. And we have the 3y square minus 6y minus 8 equals to 0. So this is telling you that your a is for 3, b is for minus 6, yc is for what? Minus 8. So your a is equals to 3, b is equals to minus 6, and c is equals to minus 8. Now let's go on with the formula. So y is equals to, your b is minus 6, that's minus into bracket minus 6 plus or minus, then you have your root, you have b square, so minus 6 square minus into bracket, then you have 4 times 3 times minus 8 all over, then you have 2 times your a is 3, so 2 times 3. So you have your y equals to minus times minus will give you plus, so you have plus 6 plus or minus all square root of minus 6 square will give you 36 minus, then you have 4 times 3 as 12, and 12 times minus 8 will give you minus 96 all over 2 times 3 will give you 6. Y equals to plus 6 plus or minus root, then you have 36 minus times minus will give you plus, plus 96 all over 6. Y equals to plus 6 plus or minus root. Now 36 plus 96 will give you 132. That's 36 plus 96 will give 132 over 6. Now since you have something like this, so let's look for the square root of 132 plus or minus. So the square root of 132 will give you 11.49 all over 6. Now since you have something like this, so you are going to split it. So y is equals to plus 6 plus 11 minus 49 over 6, or y is equals to plus 6 minus 11.49 over 6. So y is equals to plus 6 plus 11.49 will give you 17.49 over 6, or y is equals to plus 6 minus 11.49 will give you minus 5.49 over 6. Y equals to 17.49 divided by 6 will give you 1.915, or y is equals to, this will give you minus 0.915. let's leave our answer in 2 decimal places. So y, you approximate it to 1.92, or y approximate it to minus 0.92. now this is the answer. Y is equals to 1.92, or y equals to what? Minus 0.92. you can see that's why it's called the almighty formula, because it leads us to decimal. You cannot use factorization unless you just want to stress yourself. You just have to use the word almighty formula, or use the word completing the square method.